Holly Price with woodlandshits.com, and I have the amazing Theresa Roemer here in studio today. She is not only a writer, an author, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, and also Mrs. Texas United 2010. Thank you so much for coming into the studio today. How are you?
You're welcome. I am awesome. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's so awesome. So tell me a little bit about who's Theresa Roemer? Tell me, I know there's a lot going on, but you are, all over the Woodlands and surrounding areas. You're very active in the community. Just tell the listeners a little bit about, who Theresa Roemer is.
Well, how far back do you want me to go?
Whatever your little heart desires. This is our chat, so whatever your little heart desires.
I came to Texas in 2002, and in 2004 I met my amazing husband. Mm-hmm. So, and we were living in Houston, and when he brought me out to the Woodlands, I said, "Are you kidding me? I don't want to live in all these trees. I'm a city girl,
right.
And so I decided, the best way for me to feel good about where I'm going to live is to dive headfirst into my community. And so I basically did that, and I've never looked back. I mean, I said, okay, you're going to get the real Theresa. And so I delved headfirst into everything. I mean, if it was out there, I got involved in it. I sat on the board of many, many different things. I chaired 1,000 different events. I just... and it was funny because my daughter would be like, "Mom, how come everyone knows you?" And I'm like, because I'm involved.
And you worked hard to do that, too.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, my story goes clear back to, when I was a little girl, I was diagnosed with a heart murmur. And the doctors basically said, "You're never going to be a normal little girl. You're going to be sickly. You're going to have to stay inside." And I don't know. I mean, I'm just a fireball, I guess, because I was like, what? Right. You can't tell me that I'm not going to be normal, And so I jumped headfirst into sports, and I just ran and jumped, and there was no holding me down. And my parents were just very upset about it, but I thrived, and I became a world-class athlete. And
good for you.
I jumped into the fitness world at the age of 17, and I never looked back. And so, one of my dreams as a little girl was to own my own health clubs and everything, and that was very unheard of back in the 70s and 80s. And but I was bound and determined to just
an ambitious little girl.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so by the time I was 19, they were able to take me off my daily dose of penicillin to keep the heart murmur from, because basically what happened was every time I would get strep throat, it would turn into rheumatic fever. Oh. And the rheumatic fever is what caused the heart murmur. So I ended up with rheumatic fever 4 different times, which left me with this terrible heart murmur. But they said you strengthened your heart so well that we can't hardly consider you a heart patient anymore. We can only hear that heart murmur when your heart rate is really, really high. And so that led me on my path of fitness and owning my own health clubs and competing in bodybuilding and becoming, I took the U.S. Open in bodybuilding at, in 1999 at the age of 40,
That's
which was
awesome.
Unheard of because I was competing against 20-something-year-olds, Mm-hmm. And so I've just been a fitness fanatic my whole entire life, which is the reason I wrote my latest book, Naked in 30 Days.
Yes, we wanted to chat about that. So you just launched that just earlier this year.
Yeah, we launched March 15th. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me about that launch. I was listening briefly to your latest podcast, and you were just saying how amazing it was in New York to do your launch.
Well,
tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, and let's back up a couple months prior to that. We on the back of the book, you actually see me naked in Times Square.
I know. How did you do that?
So that was in December of last year, and it was cold. It was cold. So when the photographer said, I want to get you naked in Times Square in December, I was like, are you kidding me?
Thank God you have that lovely coat.
That lovely fur. Yeah. And I said, you understand I'm 54 years old. You really don't want to see a 54-year-old woman naked in Times Square. And he's like, you have an amazing body. Yes. I think it's going to be perfectly fine. And so I really trained hard, got my body fat down to around 10% so that I felt good about being naked in Times Square. And so that happened in December. We launched the book March 15th, which was amazing. Mm-hmm. Just did amazing interviews all over New York City. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the book sales have been fantastic. And the people, it's just amazing how people respond back to you and say how much you're changing their life.
Oh,
You know,
I love
because the book is not only just about health and fitness, it's also kind of my autobiography also. So
Okay.
it goes, it basically tells about how I was a sickly little girl, and fitness basically is what helped change my life. And even through losing my brother at the age of 23 from a heart attack, and losing my own son in a car accident in 2006, I always relate back and go, the thing that always saved me from that deep dark hole was fitness. It really was. And I said, when horrible things happen to you in life, you can either go into that deep dark hole
Right.
and sometimes never come out, or you can find a way to deal with tragedies, and fitness was my go-to.
So the book is Naked in 30 Days.
Yes.
And where can people, the listeners, order this book?
You can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
Or you can go to its own website called nakedin30days.com.
Okay.
And purchase it there. Or if you know me in person, you can see me in person and get it autographed.
There you go. Yes. And guys, I got one autographed today, so I'm really excited. And I'm really excited to read this, and all that good stuff. So I'm excited to look at this.
Well, and we actually had a book signing in Houston, one of many, but last month. And now this month we're having another book signing here in the Woodlands.
Ooh,
So
where is it going to be in Woodlands?
it's going to be at BMW of the Woodlands.
Okay, awesome. And
yeah.
when is that going to be?
We're picking the date as
Okay.
we speak, but
Okay.
Stay tuned. We'll keep you in tune.
Awesome.
But it's going to be in the next couple weeks.
Well, you let me know, and I'll be sure to shoot it out on social media.
Definitely.
And let the listeners know when that book signing is. 'Cause,
Definitely.
guys, she's definitely worth sitting down and chatting with. So you definitely need
Well,
to be out
and the great thing a lot of people do know about me is I'm constantly giving back. And so also 10% of all the net profits from anything that comes from the Theresa Roemer world goes back to charities of choice. So
perfect.
we're constantly giving back to different charities.
Well, and that's a good segue. I did want to chat with you a little bit about some of the nonprofits that you're passionate about. Are there some specific ones that are just really near and dear to your heart that?
Yeah, and you know very well which one I'm going to say is
Yes.
the American Cancer Society. And it was funny because about a year ago I was fooling around in my office one day, and my assistant at the time said to me, "You have the cutest mole on your arm." And I said, "Where?" And I have a lot of freckles.
Right.
I lived in the sun. Believe me, I was
Right.
a sun goddess in the
Right.
70s. We didn't have sunscreen back then, really. And so
Baby oil.
yeah, baby oil.
And lemon juice in the hair.
Yes. And he said, "Look, you have a mole on your arm that's in the shape of a heart." And I looked and I was like, "Oh, I do." And I was like, he said, "Well, everyone always says that you wear your heart on your sleeve."
Aw.
So he said, "Look, you really do now,
Right,
And I was
right.
like, "Oh, that's cute." And it just so happened that very month I had to go for my yearly skin check, from the
Right.
dermatologist. And so I showed it to her. I said, "Look at, and she's like, "That is not cute. I can tell you right away that's bad."
Oh my god.
And so she did a biopsy, sent it in, and she called me like in less than a week and said, "You have melanoma. We've got to go in and get it out of there." And so I basically went into surgery, and I have a 7-inch scar on my arm now. But better a scar than dying of cancer. And so
Absolutely.
it was really weird. Like a month later, just out of the blue, nobody knew about this cancer thing. Nobody knew I'd been diagnosed with melanoma, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden, I was contacted by the American Cancer Society, and they were looking for someone to chair their annual event here in the Woodlands. And I was like, wow.
I believe things happen for a reason.
And of course, I jumped all over that. I was like, "Oh my God, yes!" So, because now I've just been diagnosed with melanoma. So heck yes, I'm getting on this one.
Awesome.
So I didn't end up chairing the event because I didn't have enough time to do that. But I did. I was the honoree
Yes,
for
you
this
were.
past event here that was held in Carlton Woods, and I held the VIP party at my home. A month later.
Yes,
and
you did.
it's-
And guys, her closet really is awesome. I'm just saying. It really is.
Yes, I'm known for that 3,000 square foot closet
I
too.
love the closet. We were all like geeking out. We're like, "Oh my god, her shoes! Oh my god, the purses!" So it was. Thank you so much for doing that, because I guys, she's so down to earth. Like, she literally opened the door and gave me like the hugest hug right when I walked in the door. So it was just a great event, and it was really well attended. And your home is lovely, and
Thank
your
you.
family's lovely.
Thank you.
And I got to
Thank
meet
you.
your puppies.
Yes,
They're really
yes.
cute.
So yeah, American Cancer Society is one of the ones that's very near and dear to my heart. I, of course, have also worked really hard and faithfully with American Heart Association because of
Rightfully
my
so.
heart murmur, and of course, I had a brother that died of a heart attack, and so that one's very near and dear to my heart. I also work with Child Legacy International. We drill freshwater wells over in Malawi, Africa, for the remote villages.
Cool.
Yeah, I've gone over there actually myself personally and helped drill water wells, and I climbed in 2011. I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro as a fundraising effort for Child Legacy International.
Good
yes,
for you.
yes,
Good
yeah.
for you. That's amazing.
I know you look at this and you don't think, oh, she's a mountain climber.
Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? We all come in all shapes and sizes, and I just saw that movie about climbing Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, that's
It's
huge
kudos
tough. To you, girl.
Thank you.
Just after seeing that movie, I mean,
thank you.
not many people
It's
can
tough.
do that.
It is tough. I knew physically I was fit enough, but you don't know, know. And the entire team trained for 6 months straight, working really hard on our cardiovascular. We would do treadmills at 15% incline with a backpack with 30 pounds in our backpack to and do that for like an hour or two a day.
Wow.
Just to know that we were going to be
challenged.
Yeah. And it paid off.
Especially with the elevation and all of that.
Yeah, because, just go out here and take a walk. That doesn't really, prepare you for what,
I mean, it's really humid outside.
But this is a 6-day climb. This is not something, and your last leg of it that you do from base camp is basically in the dark, because you start from base camp at midnight so that you can summit at 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. So that whole last leg of the trip is in the dark. And you've got your little headlamp on, and there's snow and there's glaciers, and it's tough. Yeah, it's not your little Four Seasons.
So how was it when you got to the top?
It was really scary for me because while I was in Malawi the week before drilling the water wells, I contracted a parasite and didn't know it.
Oh no.
And that parasite didn't rear its ugly head till day 3 of the climb. And so I got really sick, and I kept it to myself because I knew if I told them how sick I was, they were going to make me go down. And so I knew that, because we'd raised $100,000 for, the charity, I was not going home without getting to the top of that mountain. I told everyone in Houston I was going to make it to the top, and I, by gosh, was going to get there, So I kept it to myself, and the night we summited, I got just deathly ill. It was coming out everywhere. I had 104 fever, and then I was going so much slower than everyone else because I was so sick, and I was having to stop to do the diarrhea thing so much that I ended up with high altitude sickness on top of it. So by the time I summited, I was like 2 hours behind everyone else, and then they got me back down to base camp, and they knew that if I didn't get off the mountain, I was going to die because I had blood coming from every orifice of my body, and I was ill. I had 104 fever. I'd lost 13 pounds. It was bad. And so, but I just know that the reason I made it off that mountain was my son, who's in heaven, was right there by my side saying, you're doing such a good thing, Mom. Your time's not up yet.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you actually have some really, it's not just Theresa Roemer, the author and, fitness instructor and entrepreneur. You are doing a new fitness line that is coming out in July.
Yeah, this month.
This month. Apparel line.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Well,
I've seen a little bit.
Yeah, but I've lived my whole life in fitness wear.
Sure.
And gone are the days where, if you're still in your sweats at noon, you're called a lazy woman or something,
Right.
Because now it's so fashionable to wear your fitness attire, or whether it be Lululemon or Under Armour or Reebok. It just doesn't matter. I mean, it's very fashion forward now. So people are actually living their entire days in fitness wear now, and it's socially acceptable. So I said, for years I've always wanted to do my own fitness wear line because that's what I'm passionate about, and I spend all my time in fitness clothes, Sure. So we've been working on it for the past year, and it's finally ready, and so we're debuting it this month. Yes. I'm so excited. Yes.
Awesome. So they can purchase these off of your website? Or
Right.
Is there
so
a dedicated website for that?
There's a dedicated website. It's not up yet. It'll be up here probably within the next week or so.
Okay.
But it's part of the Naked brand also. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then I do my own podcast every week also.
Yes.
Naked with Theresa Roemer.
To those. So how do you come up with the different ideas for the podcasts?
It's basically my life,
Okay. I love it.
Sometimes we talk about what's in the news,
Sure.
just 2 weeks ago, we did the podcast on the Orlando shooting,
Yeah.
it was devastating.
Yes.
So we do a lot of stuff with what's going on in the news,
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot, but then a lot of it's just my crazy life, because I do have a crazy life, and it's rather entertaining sometimes. And I do my podcast from the closet, so
I know, that is so awesome. That is so cool. Now, which level do you do it at?
on the
Level
second
one?
floor,
Second
where
floor.
the
Where all
champagne bar is.
And
Yeah.
where all the shoes are.
Yeah, and it's funny because the podcast is only audio,
Right.
But it's funny because we do record it, and so you can actually see me sitting in the closet, and the shoes are behind me.
Right? I love that.
Yeah, it's
That is
fun.
So,
It's fun.
so cool.
It's fun.
So what else do you have like in the works that you want to chat with us about?
Well, we're launching my own app in September. Yeah.
So what is okay? Well, tell me about this app. What is it going to be like?
Well, it's gonna be about me,
Okay.
but it's all about fitness, health and fitness.
Okay.
You're gonna get fitness tips and health tips, and we'll be doing our clothing lines through there,
Okay.
and all the other accessories. We'll have meal replacements, and we'll have supplements, and
Wow.
we'll have a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I can't wait to download it.
Yeah, it's exciting because you can go online and you can find 20 and 30 something year olds out there doing all this fitness stuff and trying to teach you how to work out and lose weight, and sometimes it's somebody that's lost 60 pounds or 100 pounds, and now suddenly they're a fitness expert, and that's good, that's fine, and it's fun to have people like that tell their story, and they were so successful at doing that they want to help other people, and that's a good thing,
Right.
But I've been doing this my whole life, and so I bring to the table 40 plus years of fitness expertise, and to be 54 and stay around 10% body fat, and have had close to 5,000 clients myself over the 40 years of personal training and owning my own health clubs. So it's just fun to be able to go, yeah, I'm 54, but I pretty much look like I'm 34, and
Yes.
and I've got all this expertise
you need to toot your
behind me.
horn. You do. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You
But
do.
it's not because I've gone out and had surgeries and any of that. It's because I have lived this healthy lifestyle my whole life, and I preach it. And people say to me, "Oh, do you really work out every day?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, don't you brush your teeth every day?"
Right.
Well, I do something physical every day, because to me the most important muscle on your entire body is your heart.
Yep.
And if you don't have a strong heart, then who cares what the rest of you looks like, So I went in for a CAT scan on my heart 2 years ago, and the guy came out and said, for a woman your age, you should have some kind of calcium buildup in your heart, and you have none.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, guess
Rockstar.
I'm not dying of a heart attack.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're taking
But
good
it's
care of yourself.
right, and so I'm just trying to teach people, it doesn't. Personally, I don't let my chronological age define who I am.
Sure.
And so if I can look this good and feel this good at 54, so can you.
Yeah.
And it's never too late to start.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to you offline because I got some stuff to chat with you about. So, is there anything else that you want to share with us? Didn't you say something about chocolate?
Oh, I have a truffle line too. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I have we debuted the Truffle line back in 2011.
Okay.
We did the grand opening. We did the actual debut at Saks Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
So they started carrying the Truffle line at Saks Fifth Avenue back then.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what kind of truffles?
It's just one truffle. It's the cookies and cream. That's my favorite flavor. So,
Okay.
but the great thing is we can personalize them. So, like if you had an event and you wanted to have truffles.
Okay.
We can actually put your logo on the truffles.
No way.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
we need to talk about
Yeah,
that. because
it's awesome.
When we just had our 1 year anniversary for the station, but when we have our 2 year, it's going to be a big to do. So I'll definitely.
Yeah, but it's just fun. We can personalize them. I always put my TR logo on them.
Sure.
Sometimes we've had events where it just says Roemer on them, and we personalize them for all different kinds of businesses and people, and it's just fun. So the truffles came out first, and then I had my candle line, which we still have the candle line too. We're going through a repackaging system right now because they were True and Real, because that was the Theresa Roemer True and Real line.
Oh, yeah,
But now everything's under the Naked brand, and so now it's
Okay.
Naked by Theresa Roemer. So we're repackaging them right now. But yeah, so I've got the candle line, which is fun candles. They've got fun names like Skinny Dipping in the Moonlight and
Oh, cute.
Hot and Steamy Weekends.
I love it. That's awesome.
And then we've got the fitness wear, and yeah, we're just busy.
You are.
Yeah.
You're rocking and rolling,
Yeah,
girl.
fun.
Well, I always like to ask, everyone that I do an interview with a fun question. And what is your walkout song? Like, what is the song that just completely pumps you up and just, gets you ready for whatever your day is going to bring, or just totally puts you in a good mood?
Well, I could go back and, find something in the archives of, some oldie but goodie, but actually my favorite song right now is by Meghan Trainor. It's her new one called Me Too.
Love that one.
Yeah.
You should totally do like a parody video.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
You should totally do that in your closet. I just got that thought in my head.
Yeah.
That would be. I have a GoPro. I could come over.
Oh, I have a GoPro.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun.
Yeah, I've got a vlogging camera. I do
Yeah,
vlogs. I do vlogs
yeah.
every single day too. I've got
Okay.
I
know you're busy,
My
but-
YouTube channel is going crazy right now. If you cannot find me out there in the social media world, you are blind. Because you can find me at TheresaRoemer.com.
Yes.
You can find me anywhere on social media. I mean, like I'm Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Theresa Roemer. My YouTube channel, Theresa Roemer, is going crazy. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So between the podcast, the vlogging, and everything else I got going on, you cannot say you can't find me.
Right. And that's just amazing. I don't know. Do you sleep?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer in rest. Yes.
Good,
Yeah.
okay.
So I usually fall in bed at about midnight and get back up around 7 in the morning. But
Okay.
but from 7 in the morning till about midnight,
You are go,
I
go,
am.
go, go,
Oh
go.
yeah, I don't stop.
Yeah.
I don't stop.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
My
You're a
favorite
busy
slogan.
girl.
My favorite slogan is I can rest when I'm dead.
There you go. I love it. Well, Theresa, thank you so much for coming into the station and just sharing a little bit about your background and what you're passionate about. And you guys, you've got to get this book, Naked in 30 Days. It's a 1-month guide to getting your body, mind, and spirit in shape. And you can get it on Amazon, or you can go to TheresaRoemer.com and
Or nakedin30days.com.
nakedin30days.com.
Yep.
So
It's
there's
everywhere.
a lot of, and you guys got to check out the photo on the back. It's really awesome. I'm just gonna sneak peek it right now, so I'm not gonna tell them what's on the back cover. They got to go buy it to see. And so again, thank you so much for coming in. I really, really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.